promised lands. I should
You
have
also gave the previous one to me too.
Yeah, you asked nicely, so
True. Yeah.
Got Chris out of third.
Not a
All
great
that
rounds match. Now, the final track. Fred, you have been a contender for the #1 spot here, but so far Richard's been getting the best of you. What's your approach to this track?
he's fast, but not fast enough. I got this one. This one's kind of tricky, so I'm pretty confident.
Feeling good? You feeling spry?
Yeah, I'm good.
I like it. Belinda, I think you're out in front of me. Could you please, not... Is that it? Is that okay?
Keep going.
Nope. Right on my tail.
We're all pretty close. Oh, crap.
We are.
These little bumps, big bumps in this track are very hard to maneuver over.
Oh, yeah. This raised, it's banked if you hit it from one direction, but then if you go over the hump, it's gonna be a little trouble.
You just gotta believe. You just gotta believe.
Man.
Keep it going.
All right, Chris and Belinda, I'm gonna need you both to beat Fred, please.
Wzinho, obrigado Wzinho, valeu pelo like, meu filho.
Now we're all teaming
O
up.
evento ainda vai começar, pô. Isso daí é
His gamer
Tipo
tag
um
is
showcase.
You Be Rich. Is that a promise if we comply?
Eles estão apresentando aí.
You will be rich.
You will be rich.
Be rich in
Aí dá tempo de organizar tudo. Mas aí é só uma brincadeira entre os apresentadores.
Let's take a #1 spot. At least
Valeu, meu
one for
filho,
this
pelos
broadcast.
compartilhamentos.
I'm happy with 3. I like the bronze. Happy with the bronze.
Is up there.
Yeah, I don't know how he's doing that.
Ooh, I told you. You gotta talk to your vehicle. Oh, no.
O joguinho parece até interessante. Vai jogar um modo online, deve ser interessante.
These points are adding up. That was a big bite. Rich down in third. All right, here we go. This is gonna settle it.
Slow and steady in the back. Taking the scenic route.
Taking the scenic route. Take our viewers on a lovely journey here. Oh gosh. Ooh, little hippity hop.
Eu acredito que vai vir muito jogo bom, hein? No evento mesmo, quando começar. Que só começa daqui a 55 minutos. Mas até lá, os apresentadores aí vão ficar... Eu acho que nem vai ser essa turma aí que vai apresentar pra começar. Vai ser o grandão da Ubisoft mesmo, que vai apresentar algo. Aí vai ter vários jogos.
I can't believe I messed up again. I did it again.
Yes. Yeah, I was never really worried. I always knew how this
You're
was going
sweating.
to
His palms are sweaty.
No.
Oh,
I don't like
Live rank in there. You Be Rich wins a match. GG.
GG's.
Nicely done. Alright, folks, that's gonna bring our little let's play.
Eu quero dar uma olhada no novo Assassin's Creed, como tá. O novo Hot Dogs.
I tried. I just love the scenery.
Vamos ver se vai prestar, hein?
Listen, it's fun to get out there in a fast car and just.
Esse joguinho aí parece ser muito interessante
Fred
mesmo.
Carmichael, close, but no cigar this time around. Are you plotting your revenge already?
I'll get him next time.
Richard, is there going to be a next time, or are you just going off into the sunset with this W?
I mean, I'm definitely driving off into the sunset, but even if there is a next time, I don't think he's going to beat me.
And thus a rivalry is born, or maybe continued?
Yeah, continue, definitely.
Thank you all for joining so much. Folks, coming up next, we're going to be taking an in-depth look at the map editor and some of the creation tools in Trackmania. But first, let's do a little schedule check-in. After our Trackmania segment here, it's going to be the Ubisoft Forward pre-show at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, where we'll be seeing some AI teammates
ele vai falar agora o pré-show da Ubisoft.
From the Crew 2. Trials Rising will be showing off a fan favorite, and we'll see a whole bunch more games on display. Then at noon,
vai mostrar The
when
Crew,
that timer runs out, it's going to be Ubisoft Forward, the main showcase. Watch Dogs Legion, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, some new
Ghost Recon
announcements, and
Breakpoint.
more. Don't want to miss that one. And after it's over, stick around for an in-depth look at Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That's all coming up here shortly. But now I've got Augustin De Vita, producer at Ubisoft Nadeo, the creators of Trackmania, joining me to talk about creation in Trackmania. Augustin, welcome.
Hello, Chris. So happy to be here.
Oh man, exciting times for you. Your game has just launched. People are out there racing in droves.
E a pessoa pode fazer a construção da pista. Que sacanagem, pô.
The game is really, really good. It's really an evolution of
Vai
Trackmania.
tornar divertido o
We couldn't
jogo.
wait for it.
And also, folks are out there.
Pista com
creating
obstáculos.
stuff. We see right here. We're seeing some map creation sped up. We got a little time lapse thing pre-prepared for us here as we talk through the map creation mode. But I guess give us like an overview.
Vai
starting
ficar
off,
um
Augustin.
GTA online, vai
What's
ficar
your team's
bom
goal
pra
when, like,
jogar.
putting these creative tools in the hands of players?
So we always want the tools to be easy to handle, and the big issue we were facing that there is too many blocks in the game. There is 1,600 blocks in the game actually, and so we had to organize all the tools and to organize the new
Gostei,
features.
já me
He's
agradou o
doing a
jogo.
great job right now because he knows what he's doing, but when you start making the first map, you really don't know where you're going to. It's really hard to get to. And,
When you say
it's really
blocks,
easy.
sorry to interrupt, but when you say
Yeah,
blocks, you just mean all these little pieces that we're seeing of track,
Yeah.
planted this way, that way, this terrain, that terrain.
Yeah, that's how it works. Every piece of the map is what we call a block. So it's some size, and you can go like diagonal. You have roads, you have decoration, you have checkpoint, start, finish. You have boosters, and all of this makes a map. So there is so many blocks that there is an infinite combination possible in the map editor.
And there's also trees, as I know from personal experience.
Yeah, you can get into them pretty quickly in the game.
So we're seeing here the player's not just sort of creating the map, they're also like, okay, I added a little bit, now I'm testing a little bit, now I'm
Deixa eu
adding a little
puxar a
bit.
câmera logo.
That testing is kind of like the immediate feedback on,
Preciso
you
nem
know,
mexer
is this
aqui.
working, is it not, is
Burrice.
the feel I like, is it not?
Yeah, you always have to test what you're doing. You can at least make a good one. And I recommend to start with this, and then after you can get to the advanced editor and make crazy stuff like he's doing right now.
Gostei, interessante.
Nice. Now,
Muito
is that
interessante
advanced
mesmo.
editor pretty akin to what the Trackmania team uses to create the actual tracks in the game?
Yeah, it's exactly the tool that we are using every day to make the track. Every tool we put in the game, we give it to the player as well, so they can make the same track as us.
Nice. So you can challenge people to beat you at your own game a little bit?
Yeah, and sometimes they're better than us. They do tracks that amaze us. I mean, I played some tracks that I always remember because it was so great.
Well, that's when you hire them for the team, right?
Yeah, it happened. We hire a lot. Well, the guy doing the video right now he used to be a player, he's still a player, and now he's working with us. And we always have like pro players coming into the team and designers and level designers.
That's very cool. So, I mean, we're talking here about the Trackmania community then. You know, there are people out there going to be creating these tracks. If they're creating the tracks, they want people to race on them. How do they get folks in the seats, you know, to race on their track?
It's really simple with the
Mas ficou em
next
cima.
Trackmania players, and we decide it's good. We're going to add it at
Agora
what we
sim.
call Track of the Day, which is like the front page of the game, and everyone is going to play it for sure. Every day there is a new track made by the players.
Nice. And so there is also that like
Nice.
server where can any player just kind of go in and be like, let me see what new creations people have today, and then rate them. So if that's your thing, if you're looking maybe for inspiration or just looking to try some wacky new tracks, that's a spot
Yeah,
you can
exactly.
go.
That's why I do. I always go to this server like every day and try new maps, even if nobody is like pushing a map right now. There is always maps pushed earlier in the day, so there is always tracks to test and new tracks to test. It's really great.
Nice. And so if you get that, so you get your track in there, you get enough stars, get considered by the team, and you select them as a track of the day, then you know people are racing it, and there's some incentives for people to get on that track as well, right?
Yeah, every day there will be what we call a competition, a daily competition on this new track at 7 p.m. CST, and this competition rewards with what we call trophies, and those trophies gives you like a rank in a global rank in Trackmania. So every day you have to come if you want to come to compete on this
Deixa eu
track.
passar o
And then
link aqui para o
earn
pessoal.
trophies and get better in the game, and you can rank up. I just go to the list and see, oh, this one is nice, so let's apply it, and then I have my skin in the game. So every day I change skin.
Excellent. Yeah, it's so fun to see what people come up with, and I imagine this is also something for you. You know, these are the creation tools you use, your team use to create the tracks, the skins, etc. But you know, to a certain extent, you give the tools to the players; they're going to come back and surprise you.
Yeah, they're always like surprising us with really great new invention. I mean, they can create mods as well, game mods. So they're going to create new things every day, and every day it's blowing us.
And one of the
44
things that I
minutos
have
ainda
really
para
enjoyed,
começar.
even when not playing Trackmania,
Dá tempo
seeing
de
some
deixar
of the
tudo
highlight
arrumadinho.
game tools to help people showcase that stuff.
Yeah, on every track you can
Toma
save
a
your
França!
replay, and then you can use it to make your own
Obrigado
videos.
pelo like também.
This tool is as well the tools that we're using to make trailers, and at the same time players can make their trailers.
O evento vai começar daqui a 44 minutos, hein, pessoal? Por enquanto só um showcase mostrando alguns jogos. Alguns jogos de alguns jogos assim de baixo rendimento, assim, baixo custo, como esse Trackmania, entre outros que vou mostrar ainda. Obrigado pelo like também, obrigado mesmo.
We'll be taking a look at that track in action in just a few moments here, but Augustin, before I let you go, I wanted to touch base on just kind of again that community aspect of, you know, how do people find these creations? What's a great way, like there's the club system that sort of allows people to connect to different
Interessante que você pode fazer construção. Poxa, mais um joguinho assim, estilo GTA Online. Fica interessante pra jogar.
Yeah, so in the game there is what we call clubs, and you can create or join any clubs you want, private, public, with friends, for example, or just a streaming community within a club. And within those clubs, you can share skins, you can share maps, you can create what we call a campaign, which is the same tool we're using to create our own campaigns with 25 maps. And you can create also events, so people can gather around and use the same skin, for example, have a club tag, and compete within each other on leaderboards, and share everything they can. They can also share videos, for example. It's really
Excellent. Great. Well, it sounds like there's lots of tools for folks to get creative, to share those creations, to discover new stuff, in addition to just racing and trying to beat the tires off of each other.
Yeah.
Excellent. Augustin, thank you so much for joining us to talk a little bit more about Trackmania. Folks, remember, Trackmania is available now. Download and play it for free on the Epic Games Store and on Uplay. Augustin, thank you for joining us, and congrats.
Yeah, thank you. It's been great.
All right, folks, we've got some competitive play coming up here just shortly, but first, another schedule reminder of the order of events back to the track. Joining me now is Omar Ben Abdallah, live producer at Ubisoft Nadeo.
Tá muito bom esse jogo aí, me surpreendeu.
A little more competitive. Omar, how's it going, man?
Pretty good, and you? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to see
você poder fazer a construção da pista, vai ficar interessante demais.
This is a whole different level, right? Because these are some of the top racers in the community.
Yeah, what we did basically is invite the 6 or 7, I think.
Jogar online disso fica divertido, muito divertido mesmo.
We'll be seeing them racing in rounds mode, so they all start at the same time, and the fastest guy win.
All right, who's your money on here at the outset?
I'll just take the easy pick and go with Shorty since he won that round.
There he is. He's there, top of the pops right there.
Yeah.
And keen-eyed viewers will note this is the track we just saw being created, and actually the 5th place player, I think, in that round is the one who made it. So, Tona,
yeah,
you can step it up. I believe in you.
Probably can win at least one round.
I believe it. I believe it. So as we watch them compete, I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about, you know, how people kind of like take on new competitive challenges in Trackmania. Because, you know, right from the get-go, you start playing, there's the inherent competition of racing. You're trying to get a better medal, a faster time, and maybe you're racing against your friends. But what are some of the other ways people can kind of get into that broader competitive scene?
basically what we try to do is to design
Pegou em
features
merda.
that will be good for any kind of level you have on Trackmania, whether you're a professional player or just someone that wants to discover the game and get better each day. So you have a lot of new ways to train and get better at the game.
Rapaz,
Gaining
eita
more
se
medals,
lascou.
maybe reaching the gold medals on all the maps of the official campaign, which is a great achievement already. You'll be able to play against VIPs, ghosts, which means that you'll be able to compete against yourself or against your favorite streamer, against your friends. So yeah, quite a lot of possibility to get better at Trackmania.
Nice. So I like the streamer touch because then if you're watching them in the chat, saying like you can kind of see when they've laid down the time and then go take yourself to the track and see how you stack up.
That's a bit, that's a feature we love at the studio because you can compare yourself against someone you would love to play against and maybe beat him and be happy with that.
Excellent. Shout out to Tona who did take that second win on the track of his own creation. Nicely done. So we're on to a new track here, and see, that's the kind of move that when I'm flying
really
out over the over Oblivion.
We all did. Like it took us some time to get used to those new way of driving.
Yeah, and so these folks have played a little bit already, but in terms of what they're seeing, what competitive players are seeing in Trackmania, what's kind of some stuff that's going to be a little bit, oh my goodness, no way.
That's scary. It's okay, that's only the warm-up.
It's
so
only the warm-up.
Yeah.
No wonder they're sending it. No wonder.
Yeah.
In terms of like, okay, so you've done your sort of like, you've done your solo competition. You want to like maybe compete with players on a broader scale, seek out folks who race around the same time as you. Like, what are some good ways to do that?
Well, what we have currently on the game will be daily cups, which is something completely new for Trackmania. Where you'll be able to compete against every player in the world which wants to participate every day at 7 p.m. European time, and basically you'll be able to see how good you are on the track of the day and compete against everyone in the world and see how good you are against each other. Then obviously you have the Nations League, which will happen each week, where you'll be able to represent your country and see which country is the best basically each week on the game. And then the Open Grand League, which is a great way to feel the pressure of the professional players because you'll be playing on the same maps and the same format as the Grand League. So you'll be basically living the experience of a professional player by playing the Grand League. And maybe if you get good, maybe at some point you'll be joining the Grand League and play against the 16 best players in the world.
Oh my goodness! Well, we see Grand League plastered all over this track here. That's the sort of highest level of Trackmania esport.
It is basically what we have on the Grand League is the 16 best players in the world. You cannot have anyone better than them, and we just put them on a special format that we designed where everything is possible until the end and the last second of the last track. So it's really great to see, and we are excited for the next season, which will start on September.
Nice. So in September, more Grand League action coming your way. But there's a lot of competitive space in between the tip top for you to get involved. And is that something that, in terms of like, I just booted up Trackmania, I've raced a little bit, is that going to be easy for players to find? What's the way to get into that?
Yeah, you'll have an in-game menu which is called events, and basically you'll be able to check out the events you want to play maybe during the week, and it will be also easy for the people to create events through the clubs. Well, you'll basically be able to create an event.
Dale, Lucas! Ei, Lucão, beleza, meu filho?
Format. So we made everything easier for everyone on Trackmania.
Nice.
Tô aqui arrumando as coisas aqui, meus tempos,
Play with your friends or
pra fazer a transmissão aqui do evento da Ubisoft.
Nice. And so these
Aí tá
clubs,
mostrando
is
esse
kind of a
joguinho
way,
aí,
like,
Lucas.
clubs are also a way that people can get into,
Meu velho, um
finding
joguinho
people
aí
who,
interessante, velho.
like to race at the same time again,
Pô,
or,
tá
are
parecido
friends or
demais
connected
assim
in
com
different
GTA
ways.
Online,
And the clubs
pô.
can be kind of any
Olha
size,
pra isso,
right?
dá uma olhada aí, velho. 4 jogadores ali na online. Você pode fazer a pista. Já tá jogando, pô. Já tá disputando ali a brincadeira. Vai ficar massa, pô. Liga aí, a gente jogando isso online. Que merda vai ser, velho.
Club that focuses on huge jumps, like the one we just saw there.
Like we see, yeah, only jumps maps and that will be quite great, I would say. Quite fun also.
This is a pretty close match.
Olha o like aí do Lucão aí. Valeu, meu filho.
So I like it. Thanks for recruiting these folks into the action here, to give us a look at some real speedy, real tight turns.
Yeah, you can see how good they are by their drifts and how well they know the maps, obviously, since they've been playing the Alpha for, I think,
Tá um joguinho que eu gostei. Gostei mesmo desse joguinho aí.
Used to the game and they're playing really good.
Não sabia que podia fazer esses negócios não, de construção, de pistas, até poder jogar online.
You can play like a ghost if you want to learn the map, actually.
Olha que putaria, velho.
True.
Na boa.
You know, can you really learn from a ghost if it just screams out ahead of you so fast?
Yeah. Just try to follow it.
Yeah, work my way up. Yeah. So these community events, this kind of this stuff that is organized through clubs, so it's organized through clubs, which is kind of organic, and players all around the world can make that happen.
Esse jogo é de graça?
Nadeo are also
É sério?
curating stuff and
Que é de
experiences
graça?
and events for players to get into.
Yeah. What we try to do is to have a mix of community events.
Ah, meu velho, se for de graça eu vou pegar. Assim que terminar o evento da Ubisoft eu vou pegar pra mim, velho. Gostei, velho. Gostei mesmo.
Contents on our game. We also organize ourselves our events through the Grand League, the Daily Cup.
Tá, eu juro a você que eu não conhecia esse jogo, pô.
So it's kind of a mix of trying to get content for every kind of players, and also a way to be able to create content and events, whether you're a great player or just want to have fun with your friends.
Nice. Wow. The time separating the top finishes.
That's really great, and that's really.
E é um jogo grátis, né? Beleza, melhor ainda.
Very tight here as we move on to, I believe, our fourth and final map of this competitive section.
And it's still really close.
All right, folks, it's down to the wire. Omar, still believing in your racer?
Boa, velho, boa. Olha, e quem assistiu o evento desse site aí da Ubisoft, esse que eu tô aqui, esse oficial, o site oficial. Deixa aberto no PC assistindo, e se a pessoa tiver conta na Ubisoft, quer dizer, tiver a conta no caso, hoje vão dar de graça o Watch Dogs 2.
So that's pretty exciting for the spectators. It's not that fun for the players, obviously, because we don't want to lose everything on one turn. But yeah, that's how you handle pressure on Trackmania.
Yeah, you know, at some point, like, fun becomes like, oh, it's the thrill. You know, you're risking a lot more for the bigger payoff, right?
Yeah.
Pô, viajei nesse jogo, velho. Os caras fazendo a pista, muito massa, velho.
Like a hill in the middle. I was trying to figure this out earlier.
Actually, we do have a name.
Apesar que eu ia chamar tanto palavrão, velho, vendo esse jogo aí.
People call it as they want. I'm calling it a different way in French, obviously.
Oh, sure, of course, yeah.
Basically, everyone can name the road as they want, and there's many ways to say it, like select the road we are seeing right now.
The language of racing.
Yeah.
It takes many forms.
Yeah.
Ih, tô morrendo de sono, velho. Desde 3 horas da manhã que eu tô de pé, velho. Tive uma crise alérgica de madrugada, que puta que pariu, velho.
Okay, I just want to get into the competition against other folks. I want to challenge myself right out of the gate. What's the best way to get that started?
Eu tô com a cara achatada de tanto espirrar, velho.
Because we'll be facing players from all around the world on a track that is known only each day. So the track of the day map. So you'll be able to see how good you are against other people, and you can do that every day, so you can maybe see your progression on the whole week, and maybe at the end of the week you'll be able to beat people that you wouldn't even think about on the early state of the week.
I like that. I like that kind of like, because you know, a lot about kind of competition is that progression and, you know, the sense of moving up in the rankings, but also
Benabi da lá.
Like this person is always the one who I see a few places ahead of me, like you're chasing them.
Puta que pariu, vou colocar o nome desse aí pra botar o Guilherme pra dar uma lida na live dele. Pra ver se ele vai conseguir ler.
The pressure is on, they're coming around these like not quite smaller, but he's in there. Oh, yep, coming up around this big, it's like S turn.
He's still fast. I believe in him.
He can feel the positive vibes coming from you.
You can see the slow motion vlog there. Just quite fun also to watch. And he's finishing first. Great.
There he goes.
I got it.
It looks like Omar backed the right racer. Shorty.
Vamos lá, meu velho. Vamos para
thank you
os
so much.
pré-show que eu quero ver o The Crew, Ghost Recon Breakpoint com
and thanks to the players for playing this competition.
as DLC, como é que ficou, se modificaram.
They help us truly to make this game better, and we're pretty happy with the Trackmania we have right now. So yeah, just play Trackmania, it's free, and have fun on it. I'm sure you'll have, and yeah, that's it.
All right, Omar, thank you so much. Trackmania, folks, it's out
Thank
now
you so
on Epic Games
much.
Store,
Vai,
and
vai,
Uplay.
vai,
Go ahead and
vai,
download
vai.
it. Get in there and get racing. Now, our time with Trackmania is coming to a close, and it's on to the next.
Thank you, Chris, and hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ubisoft Forward pre-show. The main event will be starting in just 30 minutes, and will feature news
Mustafa,
from our
não sei o
including
que, o nome
Watch
do
Dogs
cara.
Legion, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Hyperscape, and more.
Now to warm up, we have 30 minutes of a days from the games you're already playing, like Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Trials Rising, and The Crew 2, as well as some exclusive behind the scenes so you can get to know us a little better. So let's kickstart this pre-show with an update from Just Dance 2020.
O nome da menina é Catherine Ashley. Não, Just Dance não, porra. Vai, terminou, acabou. Just Dance já acabou, vai. Aí, vou trazer um joguinho desse aí pra live, ó. Pra ficar dançando aqui na frente da televisão. Vai ficar uma delícia. Na frente da câmera, ó. Eita lelê, rapaz. Entre a alternativa e a realidade. Que delícia, dia 23 de julho. Jogar ali com
If
o
you're a Just Dance
ursinho.
fan and want to win some cool swag, head over to the Just Dance website for all the details. For our next segment, we have something a little different than what we usually do. A few years ago, Ubisoft created the Ubisoft Entrepreneurs Lab and the Open Innovation Accelerator. This allowed us to create partnerships and synergies with indie studios from across the industry.
And since so many industry events were canceled this year, we wanted to showcase several indie projects and teams that Ubisoft has been collaborating with over the past few years.
Our first indie showcase is developer Machine and Mensch, who is working on the Curious Expedition 2. Let's hear more from the team behind the game.
Hi, my name is Masha and I'm a game designer at Machine
Masha
Mensch.
Camino.
Machine Mensch is a small and diverse indie game studio
Game
with a
designer.
wonderful employees based here in Berlin. Our connection with Ubisoft came through a program dedicated to create ever-growing relationships with independent developers, to talk about and share expertise and knowledge. We work together in mutual respect, which we much appreciated.
We're working on the Curious Expedition 2, which is the sequel to our expedition simulation game. This time, the game is set in Paris in 1899, during the World Expo when the Eiffel Tower was built. But more importantly, you will be traveling to these mysterious islands, you will be interacting with unknown tribes, fight dangerous beasts, find many secrets.
RPG de concept
Thanks
art,
to precision technology,
viagem.
every time you play, it's a new world, new characters, and a new
Cartunesco.
storyline that you shape with each of your interactions until it becomes really your own unique adventure.
And we will have more indie guests coming up later in the pre-show, so stick around. Now, a while ago, Ubisoft released its very first live-action TV show on Apple TV+, and it's a comedy about making video games called Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet. And to keep the show authentic, Ubisoft's Red Storm studio went above and beyond by creating a playable sandbox for the game that is actually featured in the show. So now let's head behind the scenes for an exclusive look.
This is the home of Clancy.
Okay. It's very Clancy-esque.
Yes.
I get it. All right. Now I'm starting to understand.
Right.
I too keep all my awards at the front of my office. It's entirely empty.
So Mythic Quest is Ubisoft's first live-action comedy. The whole show is about a team that is developing a super successful MMORPG, and it's about all the people within the game development team and their relationships and what they go through in creating one of the world's most successful games.
All right, incredible.
Thank you.
But are we sure that we're finished?
When we heard about what was going on, we weren't really sure if we were a great fit because we always made shooters realistic.
Isso é jogo de
And we
estratégia.
listened to the pitch and we were super excited about the idea. So we thought, all right, what does Ubisoft have that we could channel to fit this?
You're fucking me.
Yes.
You're fucking me.
But I'm not enjoying it. It's for the game.
When we started on the project, I think we imagined we would just make video clips that would run on screens in the background or something, so it would feel like a real game studio. But once we saw the script, once we started collaborating with the team, we realized, oh, they want a game, like an actual game. Of course, making an actual game would take years, so we started selecting the pieces that they really needed for certain scenes. And from there, it was not long before we said, what if we make this actually playable? What if we make it so you can connect a controller and control the characters? And so that's what we ended up doing.
Ewa,
The thing that
porra.
I love most is the shovel. Exploding people's heads with this thing is straight fire.
Cala-te.
Punch, man.
We had requests to do things like make a contagious viral disease in which people bleed out of their eyeballs first, then they bleed out of their anus, then they vomit and bleed out of their anus at the same time.
We set it up in such a way that you could trigger it in stages because we didn't know what the timing was going to be. The idea here is we can hit it and it can
Tem
control the
tradução?
timing of
Eu
when
nem
things
vi.
are happening. So the next time you hit it, he starts puking out blood. And at this point, we would probably have the camera start panning back like this. And then you can hit the button again and you can see the blood ocean itself has started coming in. And so now they're all bleeding out of the back end as well. And then the final is just everybody exploding in bloody gore. And then this was Keith's idea. He wanted the skulls coming up and bobbing up and down in the water. So.
David, can we actually make this quick? I've got a lot of work to do stripping Blood Ocean out of everything.
Yeah. Releasing a disease in the game right before a global pandemic was not a great look.
Today was the first time we showed Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet to an audience. I've never seen it with more than 6 or 7 people in a room. And so I wanted to make sure that we gave them an opportunity to hopefully recognize that this is a giant love letter to them, to the industry itself.
I was a little nervous, I gotta be honest. I thought it was gonna be a little cringy, but it was fantastic.
I thought there was a lot of truth and in the humor.
Tem não, pô, tradução não, pô.
That we had a show about our industry.
You could tell when the audience was laughing, when they really hit something that felt like the game industry.
I think it's brilliant.
All right, so if you have not yet seen it, the first season of Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet is available right now on Apple TV Plus, and a full version of this making of will be coming out over the next few days. All right, now it is time
Só
to
tem inglês
fasten
mesmo,
your
pelo que eu
seatbelt
tô
and
vendo.
start your engines as we head out to Lyon, France to visit our team at Ubisoft Ivory Tower to get an update on The Crew 2.
Hi everyone, and welcome to The Crew 2 at Ubisoft Forward. My name's James
Deixa eu ver se eu
Reese.
posso
I'm a
aumentar quadrado, deixa eu botar em
community developer
HD.
here at Ivory Tower, and I'll be your host for this quick glimpse into all the exciting things we have going on over the next few weeks. It's been 2 years already since launch, with 6 major updates and hundreds of vehicles under our belt. And our latest update, Summer in Hollywood, only went live a few days ago. Let's have a look.
Ah, tô achando não. Ah, um pouco pra baixo da página? Sério? Eu não vi não, pô. Eu tô na página da Ubisoft, pô, sério.
In case you missed it, make sure to boot up the game right now.
Mas aqui no YouTube, pô, acho que não dá pra mudar não, pô. Tradução não.
And stay tuned in the near future for more info about Year 3 of the Crew 2. Our next video is from our second indie game.
Tá no Discord?
A delirious dose of fun with Surgeon Simulator 2. Enjoy.
Swung around, you're no longer just a floating hand confined to the operating table. You're actually a full first-person surgeon with an entire medical facility to explore. And in addition to the levels that you'll find in story mode, you'll now be able to create your own unique levels and experiences using Bossa Labs creation mode. So it's a really easy to use, intuitive set of tools that allows players to create either on their own or in online multiplayer with up to 3 friends. Everything players create can then be uploaded and shared with the community, and here surgery really is just the tip of the iceberg. During our closed alpha period, we've seen players create all sorts of amazing stuff, from bowling alleys to space stations, pirate ships to horror-themed escape rooms, and this is before the game is even released. So we absolutely cannot wait to see what players create when we launch the game this coming August. And in fact, if you pre-order Surgeon Simulator 2, you can receive exclusive closed beta access.
So for those of you who are just joining us, you are watching the pre-show.
16 minutos para começar,
hein? The countdown on your screen reaches 0. And make sure you log into Uplay to unlock rewards as you watch the main event. But now, our next segment is about an Easter egg in The Division 2. So let's go behind the scenes with the devs from Ubisoft Massive Studio in Malmo, Sweden to find out more.
Running through collapsed buildings, climbing over fallen debris, and encountering makeshift living spaces.
Esse jogo aí, meu velho, esse jogo é bom, velho, na boa, velho.
Within its post-pandemic environment, many players have spotted something a bit more unusual, which has left them asking,
The Division aí, velho, top demais, velho.
So there's a thing in programming especially where you talk to a rubber duck. And it's a way to solve your problems. If you talk to a rubber duck and just say things out loud, it helps. One of our artists decided to take this to another level, and he used the rubber duck scaled up to like a ginormous scale and put it in the level just to remind him to do something. And it sat there for a while, and the rest of us kind of really loved this giant rubber duck sitting there for so long. We decided to put a little memorials to it across the world.
O patinho, velho, existe isso, velho.
It started off as little memorials, and then we started adding stories to them. So there's one where these 2 ducks are sitting on a bench having a date together, and there's another one somewhere where he's sitting with an umbrella hiding from the rain. The idea of the ducks is similar to the rest of our storytelling, where we're trying to add some hope into the world. Because you're coming in as a Division agent to try and save what you can and rebuild, but you need to know there's something there to save. So having bits of happiness lets you know like it's still worth saving for these little happy moments.
One shrine in particular became a beloved fan favorite, showing up multiple times across YouTube and Reddit.
So, Karen, how was your day?
Well, Luke, it's been
Eu não tô logado, não.
productive. So the origin story of productive. One of our level designers made an amazing pun one day, and we decided to make a graffiti out of it and put it in the game, and it became like a duck shrine, and players started finding it and wondering where it came from. See, someone's found the thing that you kind of just snuck in under the radar, and no one really knows about it, and it...
12 minutos para começar o evento, hein?
There's some hard Easter eggs that some of the level designers and gameplay designers have put in, and people have managed to solve it with no help whatsoever. Gamers are smart.
So now that you know, be on the lookout for both the ducks and teddy bears next time you boot up The Division 2. We now have our final indie guest, Thunder Lotus Games, who were the 2017 winner of the indie series that took place in Montreal. So let's find out more about the beautiful coziness of Spiritfarer in this next video.
Hey everybody, I'm Rodrigue, marketeer at Thunder Lotus. We're an indie studio based out of Montreal, Canada, and makers of the games Jotun, Sundered, and our new game Spiritfarer, which is due out later this year. For the past 6 years, we've tried
with the insanity, pain, and triumph we all know and we all love. Trials Rising came out last year, but I think the team from our Red Link studio in Helsinki has a little surprise coming to the game for the fans of the franchise. So let's take a look.
Que viagem é essa, velho? Ah, o Trials, velho. É, velho.
We're here today to introduce you to an exciting new endurance challenge coming to Trials Rock.
Ih, que viagem da porra.
Yeah, I'm telling them that. By far, the longest track we've ever put in a Trials game. The Giga Track will take you across many different environments, from the iconic... Yeah, I was just... Maybe you want to tell them.
The Giga Track is like life. It starts and it ends and it's long. Depends how you enjoy it. And also one secret thing. 4 tells to transfer to 1.
Eu tenho no PlayStation 4 esse o
Test of Trials Endurance.
Não, esse daí, né? Esse daí é o mais novo.
July 16th for the low
Jogo
price
muito massa, velho.
You heard that right, riders. Giga Track will be available for free to all Trials Rising players when it releases this Thursday.
You heard that right, the Giga Track is coming to the game and it will be the longest, most insane track in Trials history and it will be free for all Trials Rising players. Now for our last game update, the Ghost Recon Breakpoint team is ready to share some details on their upcoming updates. AI teammates are coming to the game. Let's have a look at the trailer.
The time has come. AI teammates are back in Ghost
Recon Breakpoint.
And for all solo players, they're gonna be a game changer. Available at any point after you have reached Erewhon for the first time, Fury, Fixit, and Vasily can be activated or dismissed at will. And from the beginning, you will be able to fully customize them. This customization includes all of the physical attributes, as well as gear, equipment, or even full costumes. Your teammates can be tweaked just as much as your main character. Just like Nomad, your teammates will adapt and react to the world of Aroa and its environments, and they will always follow your own behavior. If you decide to go stealth, they will equip silencers and crouch.
Jogo para jogar online também deve ser muito bom, velho.
If you decide to go loud and open fire, they will stick by your side. When deployed, you can issue different orders to your teammates through the order wheel. There are 4 different orders you can give to your teammates. You can tell them to regroup on your location, to hold their current position, to go to a specific location, and to open fire on nearby enemies. These orders can be given at any time, even through your binoculars and drone. Once they approach potential threats, the teammates will notify you and mark them automatically.
Got a hostile.
With a good look at your enemies, you will be able to set up a sync shot where each of your teammates picks a target. You can even link it to your 3 sync shot drones for a simultaneous 7-target takedown. The teammates have weapons equipped at all times, a versatile assault rifle to accommodate all situations, and a primary weapon that you will be able to fine-tune. Indeed, apart from mark upgrades and passive bonuses, the full gunsmith is accessible to your teammates, and their weapon of choice will have a direct effect on the battleground. Depending on the type of weapon they have equipped, the teammates will adapt their engagement distance and rate of fire. From close distance shotgun wielding, all the way to long-distance sniper shots. Of course, if you get taken down, your teammates' priority will be to try and rescue
pessoas no cope ali legal, velho.
Focus their fire on the surrounding enemies before getting to you. And they will expect the same from you, especially as you will be able to carry them to safety if the situation requires it. Finally, the teammates will also be your best allies in any vehicle, especially on the road and during high-stake pursuits.
Estamos a 5 minutos do evento, hein, pessoal? 5 minutos.
And we cannot wait to see your reactions. We'll see you on the battlefield, Ghosts.
Ghosts. Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Hey, Ghosts. I'm Grace from the Ghost Recon team. As you've just seen, the AI teammates are finally landing in Ghost Recon Breakpoint with our next major update on July 15th. Alongside the AI teammates, this update comes with a ton of new content, including a gunsmith upgrade, new PvP content, quality of life updates, and more. You will be able to try it all during our next free weekend from July 16th to July 20th. But that's not all. We've got one last thing to show you. Enjoy, and we'll see you on Aroa, Ghosts.
To anyone listening,
This is Haruhito speaking for the outcast.
Será que são as DLCs do jogo?
We stand against Sentinel's illegal occupation of Aroa. We call on all of Aroa to join us. Separated, Sentinel wins. But united, we cannot be defeated.
Caceta, véi. Resistência, velho. Que viagem, colocar esse modo no Ghost Recon, velho. Aí fica massa, pô.
Episode of our wow moments comparing the craziest and coolest clips from you, our players.
Se fudeu. Fudeu não, cagada da porra. Joguinho de snowboard. Eu gostava na época, eu tinha o PlayStation 2, né? Jogos assim eu achava muito massa, né? Deu a porra. Deu rala. LeBron Sages. Six.
Oh, you get interrogated.
Bugou, velho.
Oh, okay.
Ah, morreu. The Crew 2. Eita. Ah, já caiu na garagem. Porra. Toma.
So there's a line that people want me to yell, but I can't usually do it because I'll freak out my neighbours. But as you can see, I'm at the Crashing Ocean Beach and there's no one too close, so... Reloading! Fuck, someone saw me, I gotta go.
50 segundos, hein, pra começar. Aerosmith, velho. Tem uma desgraça, velho. A menina é o cão, velho. Trinta segundos para começar o evento.
If you also have amazing gameplay segments you captured from our games, spread the joy and submit them on the link displayed on your screen right now. All right, guys, it is time for us to wrap up this pre-show.
Don't forget to stay tuned for our post-show featuring a deep dive into the world of Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Thanks a lot for watching this pre-show and enjoy Ubisoft Forward.
10 segundos, hein? Vamos lá, 9, 8, 7. E vamos ver o que a Ubisoft vai trazer, hein? Começou, hein? Ela que não venha com cagadas, hein? Se vier com cagada, eu vou falar.
Hi everyone, I'm Neelam Kumar and I'm very excited to be co-hosting the first Ubisoft Forward with the talented Yusuf Mageed. Today's show is all about getting up close and in-depth with all the exciting games we have in production here at Ubisoft.
I'm Yusuf, but there's no time to waste. So let's head straight for the streets of futuristic London.
and see what the hackers of DedSec are getting into.
The illegal paintings spreading
Watch
subversive
Dog is
messaging
legendary.
over the last few weeks across London are not the work of several people as was originally believed, but the work of an individual. The criminal suspected to have links with the
Vai ver gameplay, meu velho. Gameplay.
Authorities recommend not to approach the individual.
First, they came for the foreigners, and I did not speak out because I was not a foreigner. Then they came for the protesters, and I did not speak out because I was not a protester. Then they came for the journalists, and I did not speak out because I was not a journalist. And then they came for street artists, and I did not speak
É igual a
out
polícia daqui de Pernambuco. É assim mesmo.
because I am not a street artist.
Uma eficiência da porra. Enfim.
And I realised that eventually they'd come for me, and there would be no one left to speak for me.
Right! Oh! Nice! Where are we off to, sir? It's fine! I'll show you the way! Okay! Sorry, miss! Jesus! Alright, so we're in a total mess now, so let's get the hell out of here!
Enrascada, hein? Cadê o gameplay, meu? Se não tiver gameplay, vai ser uma merda de logo.
And there's nothing more debilitating than that. Right. This way, not to be able to do what you're passionate about.
After a long night, London is in chaos. The main arteries through the city are blocked. Hundreds of heavily armed Albion
Well. Welcome to the Resistance. Here's a welcome gift for our new members.
But the disappearance of the criminal
You could have told me it was a bloody costume party.
Try it on.
The new key suspect has been identified as David Ford, a 43-year-old London taxi driver. He has no criminal record, but is currently believed to be a terrorist. People have been asked not to approach him.
É legal. Ou vai ou não. Vai ou racha. Agora tá lascado.
I'm Clint Hawking.
Clint has been a longtime creative force here at Ubisoft, and now he's bringing this vision to Watch Dogs Legion.
So yeah, what we just saw was an amazing short film by the director Alberto Mielgo that was inspired by Watch Dogs Legion and looks at the game and the universe and the characters through his incredible artistic vision and visual style.
The city needs a resistance.
Like the film, Watch Dogs Legion tells the story of ordinary heroes setting aside their differences in order to come together as a collective and to fight for a positive change. You can literally recruit and play anyone who you see in the open world. You profile people that are interesting to you, you help them with their problem, you play their origin mission.
Just help me get some closure and I'll do whatever you want.
Sounds like a DedSec problem.
Leave it to us.
And that's how you recruit them into your team, and then they become the heroes of the game and the stars of your story.
And what are you doing in my flat? You with Albion?
Please, think more underground.
You with Albion?
I'm tickled, but think more underground.
What, DedSec? Yeah, right, and I'm Che Guevara. You done?
And they make the story not only, unique to them, but unique to you as the player and personal to you because they're, heroes that you've chosen and invested in. What would I say to fans? I guess I'd say, take care of yourselves, stay safe. Welcome to the Resistance.
Cadê o gameplay?
Our London town. A modern metropolis. Built on history and prosperity.
Terra
Only took
da
12,000
Rainha.
years to build it up. And one night to tear it all down.
Oh my god. Listen up.
Não
Get all
adianta
your
rezar
units to
não,
move
meu
in
Deus,
and
o que é
lock down the
onde?
city.
With London under attack by a mysterious terrorist, the government turns to a private military company called Albion to keep everyone safe. What could possibly go wrong? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nigel Cass, CEO of Albion. He's kindly stepped up to establish order.
Understand this. I will not allow anyone, not even myself, to jeopardize this.
He will stop at nothing to permanently control the city.
London will be the first city in the world to be made truly safe.
Nigel's not the only opportunist who's taken a liking to this fair city. Meet Mary Kelly, head of the most powerful crime syndicate in London.
Be sure and spread the word.
She and her goons are using the dark web to sell everything from party pills to people.
This microchip is scary, I know, but I've got to keep tracks on my merchandise, don't I? You made me a slave.
You do not want to ruffle her feathers. With the city out on its arse, it now falls on you to build a resistance and take back London.
All right, everyone. Faces on, guns out.
Any of the brave Londoners you see walking the streets can be recruited into your team. Like him. Her. Or even her. Everyone could become your next secret weapon. In our first mission, we need to get some dirt on Nigel Cass, and that means breaking into Albion headquarters inside the Tower of London. All the hardy souls you see here are people we have recruited from the streets of London. They all have unique abilities, and you're free to tackle this mission with whoever you like.
Dear God, my eyes. Mikey! Zip up, get to work, and let's never talk about this again.
Like everyone in DedSec, Arthur can hack pretty much whatever. But as a construction worker, he has a particular set of tools that make him handy. He can even call his own cargo drone. Perfect for gate crashing, when you're not invited. And who needs a regular old gun when you have a bloody nail gun? Come in, you shit boy.
Caceta.
Jesus Christ, what is that thing? Perhaps we can approach this mission differently. If you'd rather keep your distance, we've got
Aí
you
tá
covered.
certo, velho. Gostei.
Amy is a drone expert.
What have we here?
Deixa eu ligar o ventilador que tá quente pra caralho aqui hoje, velho. Ontem choveu o dia todo e hoje calor desgraçado.
What an adorable creepy crawler.
Here we are. Let's class the place up.
A drone expert does have the unique ability to summon their own drone. This little darling is fast and stealthy.
She aims, she fires, she hits.
I'm reading incoming drones.
Mais jogo, né? Pelo menos esse daí tá com mais ação do que os outros.
Turning the tide in her favor. And if you are not into direct confrontation, there are
Os
more
outros.
ways than one to
Eita
get the
que
job done.
sono. Os outros são muito parados, velho.
Recruiting an Albion officer like Brielle here might be challenging, but it'll get you inside restricted Albion areas.
Don't mind me, just doing recon for a bunch of insurgents.
However, do anything suspicious and she'll probably wind up with a bullet in the back of her head.
You've been approved for entry.
We're missing the human element here. I can get the Defense Minister on the line right now.
Well, if you feel you must. Criminals running our streets, illegals threatening our families, the police commissioner himself, assassinated by terrorists.
Well, that seems to be enough evidence. Next up, we're crashing Mary Kelly's organ farming operation and putting a stop to it.
Pelo menos o mapa é grande.
The buyers expect high quality stuff.
And we need a hard nut for this.
Impairing our frontal lobe again, are we?
Bags, don't disturb me in my natural habitat.
Say hello to Mickey. The man lives for his team.
I put another hair on my chest.
And doesn't mind getting his hands dirty.
Achei meio dura a jogabilidade, velho, na boa. Os NPCs são muito lerdos, velho.
He does have a slight drinking problem, though.
Eita, sempre tem que ter cachaceiro, né?
Ah, well, we'll come back to him. You know what? Let's go with someone a bit more professional.
Zé Manguaça.
It's almost crass to call him a hitman.
Cacete, velho.
Some might even call him an artist. Here's the bastard.
Ficou massa, é isso aí, velho.
Done and dusted.
Not bad if I do say so, innit?
Not everyone in London is a legendary assassin or a super spy, but everyone can be a hero.
Que viagem.
So get out there, find the best recruits, and build your resistance.
Deve estar interessante pra jogar, velho. Na boa. Eu ainda digo que esse jogo aí é um dos jogos que vai concorrer a jogo do ano. Ele vai entrar no mínimo entre os 6.
Plunging the player into a living, breathing city, teaming with unique locales and characters, has always been a central pillar.
Já ganhar pra jogo do ano aí não dá não, sem condições.
Here's Amanda Munt to tell us more.
Mas a Ubisoft sempre coloca algum jogo como jogo do ano também, né?
My name's Amanda Munt. I'm a level artist on Watch Dogs Legion at Ubisoft Toronto. Being a level artist, I think, is the coolest job in video games because we do get the freedom to kind of like pick and choose what little details we want to depict, and we get ample opportunities to tell the stories that we want to tell in the spaces that we're assigned to. I have the capacity to hide things and, you know, like small little Easter eggs. In AC Unity, there was a boat somewhere in the world that was covered in cats. And then it happened again in Watch Dogs 2, and there may or may not be something in London that is a boat filled with cats in some capacity. So I was fortunate enough to go to E3 last year. Some of the people that I was showing our demo to were from London, so no matter where I dropped them in the city, they would go, "Oh my God, this feels like Camden. This, you know, this feels like Southwark. This feels like Westminster." When people are talking about some detail that I've put into the world and they're excited about it, like that feels so good as somebody who, you know, builds these worlds with care. I love it.
Brawlhalla.
And now some news for Brawlhalla fans.
É que tem novidade aí em Valhalla. Valhalla já é um jogo antigo, pô. E é jogo free. Jogo livre aí. Será que tem personagens novos em Valhalla? Aí vai instigar o pessoal a jogar. 40 milhões de jogadores, deu a porra, velho. Crossplayer. Ah, que massa. Tem personagem novo, sim.
And now, whether you need a Tom Clancy action fix on the go, or want to dive back into one of the most beloved fantasy franchises in gaming, we've got you covered.
Esses jogos mobile vendem demais, pô. Era of Chaos.
The target is being held on the ground floor.
É isso, pô. Ai, mosca.
Contact! Moan chain is down. Request air support. Target northeast rooftop.
Roger. Inbound, danger close.
Eita, pegou em merda, velho.
EMP imminent.
Já é, filho. Ah, não tem não o que fazer, não.
Get back in your cell!
Essa ficha, velho. Eita, caralho. Essa ficha tá em que jogo agora?
Don't make me regret this.
Elite Tom Clancy's Elite Squad, velho.
Speaking of Tom Clancy, it's been 5 years since Rainbow Six Siege first launched, and the community has never been stronger. In celebration of this milestone, Ubisoft Montreal has put together a special video to thank all of the amazing players and developers that have helped Siege become the game it is today.
Sai, mosca!
In December 2015, a small team released Rainbow Six Siege. A game built on a strong vision, creativity, competitiveness, and team play.
Pour le joueur, le 1er décembre, c'est un début, mais pour nous aussi. Il faut tout de suite s'engager et dire aux joueurs, ce jeu est installé, tu peux t'y installer aussi, et nous serons là.
Sai, mosca!
That vision was quickly adopted by our passionate community, propelling it to a whole new level.
This is
such a special moment, and being at 1 year anniversary of Rainbow Six now, game being stronger than ever, more players today than we had in the past.
Aí é problema, velho. Uma
But we
viciada,
also
velho.
had our share of challenges.
Health that touches upon subjects like matchmaking, connectivity, all those aspects are absolutely critical to the experience of the player.
Through it all, we're always driven by you, our community. And together, we grow stronger.
Não vi nada demais até agora.
There is no sequel plan, and we're here for the next 10 years, so expect more Rainbow Six in your life for quite some time.
Look at this.
Tous les succès, c'est vraiment le résultat de autant de nous que de vous. Ce jeu, il est autant le vôtre qu'il est le nôtre, nous, l'équipe de développement.
Now 60 million players strong, we're just getting started. From the devs that build the game, to the community that plays it, thank you.
É, meu velho. Pro play aí.
If you haven't tried it yet, dive into our new Operation Steel Wave update available now and take Ace and Malusi out for a spin.
A few days ago, we introduced y'all to a brand new multiplayer shooter. Now, it's time to venture into the hyperscape.
What was that? A hack in the hyperscape. That's not supposed to be there. Let me get you all up to speed, okay? About 30 years ago, everything that we feared about our future started to come true. We made some good decisions. We made some bad decisions. Actually, we made a lot of bad decisions. So, here we are. 10 billion souls living in the crush of the megacities. But the people at Prisma changed everything. They gave everyone a way out. The hyperscape. In the hyperscape, the biggest draw by far is Crown Rush. This is where anyone can become someone.
Battle Royale, velho. Eu quero ver gameplay, meu filho. Sem gameplay não peço pra nada. Eu digo logo assim. Digo a porra.
If you get good at Crown Rush, it can change your life. But strange things have been happening lately. Rumors of people getting hurt. Users disappearing from the real world. A darker secret lies at the heart of Hyperscape. And we have to find it. Some of us are searching for a way up. Some of us for a way out. And for others, a new way altogether. That's what brings us to the edge of the future. To the Hyperscape.
Hyperscape. Só tem hyper mesmo. Que jogo aí, gameplay que é bom ou nada.
JC's work on Far Cry
Agora
Primal
nada,
and multiple Prince of Persia
nada.
titles has established him as a top creative here at Ubisoft.
For me, what's exciting is we started building it from scratch, seeing it grow, adding ideas is really cool.
Hello, contender. Welcome to the Hyperscape.
The game takes place in 2054. It's in a future where humanity has grown a little darker, one of the companies there. They are launching what's called the Hyperscape, which is a virtual world and the internet of the future. It's the place where everything converges. Within the virtual world, there is a battle royale that takes place in the virtual city of Neo Arcadia.
Jogando aí.
Then we also introduce a lot of new things. You get the opportunity to do parkour on the rooftops, to go into interiors where it's much more narrow, much more stressful. You get to go to the landmarks where there's more opportunities to get cool items, but also more players, so it's a risk-reward kind of deal.
Algo diferente, né?
Notion of hacks, special abilities that you can pick up on the fly to adapt your tactics. With hacks, you can do things like teleport yourself, you can wrap yourself into a ball and bounce around the battlefield. So a lot of abilities that let you have fun, that are toys that you can play with. And finally, it's made as a spectacle, so all the viewers will be able to interact with the game on different levels through the Twitch extension. So every few minutes, there's going to be a vote, and viewers will be able to decide what effect they want to affect the whole battle. So things like changing the gravity, infinite ammo, or stuff like that. So players, while this happens, really have to adapt to all kinds of stuff that is happening. So for me, it's really exciting because right now, as we speak, we're launching the open beta, and so it's going to be available for free-to-play for all PC players worldwide.
Tá um jogo totalmente diferente, pô. Mais um Battle Royale, mas tá diferente demais.
Here's a short glimpse of what you can expect.
Watch and learn how it's done. Perfecto.
Showtime.
Let's show them what I'm made of. Go time. Watch closely. Here we go.
Ah, que viagem, velho. Hyperscape. O beta vai estar aberto dia 12 de junho já.
The digital world of the Hyperscape gave our artists and developers incredible freedom when it came to designing characters.
Production manager Ana Maria Musca is going to take us behind the scenes of character design.
My name is Ana Maria Musca. I'm the production manager for characters and weapons on Hyperscape.
Ana Maria Mosca, velho. Mosca.
We have paid an exceptional amount of detail to our characters. We switch different outfits, different fashion statements, different tattoos, different materials until we see them as real individuals, as real people. So the second you pick a character, you see them in game, you understand what their motivations are and what drives them and what challenges them. This was the first lineup of characters. This is our default base, but even starting from the hair down, everything has been meticulously thought of. Would this person actually like this type of outfit? Would this person enjoy the type of tattoos that we're putting on them? Will they actually like to be in this body? Each season, we plan to produce new outfits for these characters. So we're hoping some of our players are gonna see the effort and maybe even correlate some of the accessories to what's gonna happen in the game. We're very excited to see it in people's hands.
As we move into the next
Bora,
generation
pô,
of
vai
gaming,
ficar na mesma
Ubisoft
coisa.
has been working closely with console makers to take advantage of all the extraordinary capabilities these new consoles will offer.
Now we have a special guest to tell us a little more.
Hey everyone, Phil Spencer from Xbox.
Hey, lá vem Phil
With Watch Dogs
Spencer.
Legion, Ubisoft is supporting smart delivery. So you will get the absolute best version of the game on any version of Xbox you're playing on. On Series X, you'll get to take advantage of the amazing work the team has done with DirectX ray tracing to create an absolutely immersive version of London like you've never seen before. Ubisoft has a unique ability to create immersive worlds, setting a new bar that continues to drive our industry forward. I'm a huge fan of Assassin's Creed. I love the time I've spent exploring the world in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I can't wait for you to see the gameplay from Assassin's Creed Valhalla that's coming up now.
All right, we know you've been waiting to hear more about this game since it was announced back in April. And now it's time for a deep dive into the world of Vikings.
My name is Julien Laferrière, and I'm the producer of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So a couple of weeks ago, we announced Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and the reaction from the fans was just amazing. The time period of Vikings is really, really inspiring. When we did our research, we found that, they were not mindless barbarians. Vikings were actually farmers trying to find new lands for them to settle. And so they had really human motivations. So for us to have this opportunity to tell kind of the real story about Vikings and kind of separate ourselves from the myths and the folklore is really something that drove us to make this game. The team went to Norway and England to take the same roads that the Vikings did, to really experience what it meant to be a Viking at that time. And then leaving Norway, which is barren but majestic, and just coming by boat in England and see those rolling green hills full of sheep, full of life, is just this moment that most likely the Vikings felt as well. You need to see this land of opportunity, and this is exactly the feeling we want players to experience in this game. It is a personal adventure, it is the story of Eivor, a Viking chieftain. Eivor is either a male or a female. You decide when you start the game. They will have to leave Norway to settle in England because you just can't live in Norway anymore. There's too much political pressure, no resources available. Obviously, in England, it's full of Anglo-Saxons and other people, and they don't really want you there. So you will have to fight your way there to kind of build your own settlement and see your clan prosper. Vikings were brutal warriors.
Chuva de flecha, man. Shield!
And the fact that they were mastering a lot of weapons coming from the medieval times really inspired us to kind of revamp the fight system, to leverage the brutality and the intensity of Viking combat.
Sim, mas cadê o gameplay? Cadê o gameplay?
Vikings were not only
se for
fighting
aquele
face-to-face,
gameplay que foi
they were
mostrado,
masters of stealth and deception when needed. They used basically any sort of tactics they could use to win the battle. So we want to portray the full range of combat that you can imagine coming from the Vikings. We are very happy to finally be able to show you the game we've all been working on. So please enjoy this deep dive into Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
In Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you will relive the epic saga of the Viking invasion of England. You play as Eivor, a Viking from Norway, who will lead his or her battle-hardened warriors across the North Sea to the British Isles. Eivor is driven by an ambitious goal, to build a thriving Norse settlement in a hostile land.
For the good of our clan, it is time we go
Vai ser bonito, velho.
Today we raid, that tomorrow we may build.
England is a dark age tangle of broken kingdoms and warring dynasties, a land of opportunity and riches. As you prowl England's rivers by longship, you may raid locations you spot from the shoreline. Ground your ship and blow your horn to lead your raiding crew into battle.
Cacete, velho.
Your crew will assist you in all your raids, fighting enemies, battering down doors, and stealing cargo too heavy for one set of arms. Whatever riches and resources you pillage may be used to develop your settlement, giving you access to useful services, better tools, and new settlers. At the heart of your settlement is the Alliance map. It will serve as a record of the allies you have made, and a guide for future opportunities. The Viking Age was a time of warriors and legends. In Valhalla, you will find the largest variety of enemies ever assembled in an Assassin's Creed game.
Sangue.
Every archetype offers a unique challenge. Some will coordinate with their allies for special attacks, while others will use nearby objects to their advantage, including the bodies of fallen warriors. To face these attacks, you must find and exploit your opponent's weaknesses to gain the upper hand. Take the fight to your foes with a host of brutal new combat abilities. Snare them with a Viking harpoon. Pummel them with throwing axes. Incapacitate them with the new stun system to keep them at a distance, or finish them off. Dual wield any two weapons you wish to unleash a deadly combination of attacks.
Interessante mesmo.
Customize your fighting style as you see fit,
Arma massa,
and
velho.
become a legendary Viking warrior. All combinations of weapons are available to dual wield, including 2 shields.
Cacete, velho. Ai, gostei.
Not all situations call for violence.
Gostei,
In this
velho.
new land, a Viking must find a way to adapt.
Stealthzinho.
As Eivor is not welcome in England,
Se misturar
you may
com o
need to
pessoal pra
outsmart your enemies,
fugir dos
avoiding unwanted
guardas, como
attention in
sempre, né?
towns and bustling cities.
Tá de praxe.
Use Eivor's hood and cloak to blend with crowds, and slip past watchful eyes. An unseen hunter among the people. From capital cities and villages
Exploração.
to the dense forests and rolling hills of England, exploration is vital to keeping yourself sharp. You must feed off the land if you hope to endure. Hunt and forage to replenish your health and fortify your equipment. Search pagan temples and Roman ruins for new activities and challenges to strengthen yourself and your settlement.
Enigmas.
The more you explore, the more of England's secrets you will reveal.
Ah, eu vou cair.
But as you push
Esse
deeper
tá na
into
minha
England,
lista de jogos.
the enemy will push back. In a series of climactic moments, Assassin's Creed Valhalla will feature massive assaults in which you will lead Eivor's army into battle against heavily guarded Saxon fortresses.
Today, we will reclaim her. Today, we fight for your land. And tomorrow, we rebuild.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla will transport you to wondrous and haunted lands, inspired by Norse
Muito
myths
diferente, velho.
and
Porra,
England's pagan
ficou massa,
roots.
velho.
It will challenge
O
and
primeiro
surprise
gameplay que foi mostrado foi
with
uma
unforgettable
bosta, velho.
characters, thrilling triumphs,
Esse daí não, aí
and
tá
tragic
mostrando
losses,
mesmo, velho.
giving you the chance.
O jogo mudou muito, velho.
Viking Saga.
Ai! Ótimo, velho. Ah, boa. Aprovado.
Ninth century England is
17
truly
de
unlike anything the
novembro.
franchise has seen before. Assassin's Creed Valhalla will release this holiday season on Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, PS4, PC, and Stadia.
We're close to wrapping up today, but before we go, our CEO, Yves Guillemot, is here to share a few words.
I hope you will have enjoyed what you have seen today. and that you will love playing these games. I am proud of our teams for delivering an ambitious, broad, and creative lineup of games.
Eu nem sei, Lucão, se eu vou pegar o Watch Dogs não, que não tá entrando na minha conta não. Eu esqueci de logar. E eu vou abrir minha conta agora, nada. O jogo tem pirata, tô nem aí.
We have one more thing to share with you.
Gostei desse Assassin's Creed, velho. Muito foda. Isso é Far Cry 6, né, velho? Que diabo é isso, velho? É, Far Cry 6. Ô, rapaz, me dá um pouquinho dessas barrinhas de ouro aí. Sai da merda. Não vai jogar, vai mostrar jogando não, Far Cry 6 não. Vai mostrar esse teaserzinho mesmo. Sabia que era Far Cry 6?
Fuerzas ultrapenetrantes, estamos cansados de los farsantes, de los...
Vai mostrar?
It's beautiful, amigo. Perfect, but useless. I have something for you, Diego. Give me your hands.
Papa.
Now, the grenade is simple. It has 4 basic parts. The shell.
Rapaz, ele tem a mesma, o menino tem a mesma marca da sobrancelha que aquele tal de Vaz do Far Cry 3 tem, ó.
What are you doing? Breathe, Diego. Breathe. The pin simply holds the handle in place. It is only when you let go that this grenade goes boom. Follow me. Now. I am El Presidente, which means that someday you will be El Presidente. And our people, they do not know how to be happy. They are torn apart by opinions, noise, indecision, strangled by their own freedoms. And even if you have love in your heart, even if you want what's best for them, if you only want to save them from themselves, they will hate you, Diego. Everything you say, do, believe, will be wrong. They will answer you with screams, call you evil. a monster and give you this. So you tell me, are you evil? And are you a monster? Because our country is like this grenade, except it has two basic parts. Our people. And you must clutch them nice and tight, or we all go boom. You understand now? Prove it.
Em 2021, pô. Fevereiro de 2021.
And with that, we're wrapping up our first Ubisoft Forward. Today, we've seen the next generation of Assassin's Creed, the birth of a resistance in Watch Dogs
Nossa, que
Legion,
terminou, hein?
the cyber chaos of Hyperscape, and the epic reveal of Far Cry's newest installment, along with so much more.
Remember, we'll be back later this year with another Ubisoft Forward filled with tons of game news and updates.
Thanks for joining us.
Acabou o evento, hein? Muito top o Assassin's Creed, gostei demais.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Ubisoft Forward post show. My name is Yusuf Magid, and this is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We're going to take a deep dive into about 30 minutes of gameplay, and we're joined by a very special guest here.
Hey everyone, this is Philippe Bergeron, otherwise known as Fizz. I am the quest director on Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Muito foda o
So
jogo.
Fizz, we're setting up here for what looks like an epic encounter. Tell us exactly what's going on here.
Yeah, so here we're midway through the quest that we're showing for UB Forward. Here we're looking at the assault of Berg Castle. So these are big moments that usually sort of culminate at the
Rapaz,
end of the
essa
story.
menina tá parecendo aquela
Is taking a group of raiders and
do jogo Rise do Xbox, velho. Rise Filhos de Roma. A tal da Boudica.
So who exactly is Ruid and why does
Tá igualzinho, velho, a menina, velho. Se você colocar a imagem da Boudica com essa daí do Assassin's Creed, você vai ver que é a mesminha, velho.
Ruid basically caused a lot of turmoil within the territory, and Oswald, who's the sort of elderman to be to
Gostei do jogo.
needs your help to take him down.
Pra mim, o melhor jogo aí mostrado na Ubisoft.
Defeated in a previous quest, and so here this is revenge, but also
E
accomplishing
esse daí eu pretendo comprar, velho. Na boa, que jogaço, velho.
Valhalla. Can you tell us a little bit about the changes to combat this time around?
We wanted to basically
Cacete,
add
velho.
a lot of new mechanics to it. So we added like some dual wielding for the player, like a stun system in there, and we really needed to do
Muito
this to sort of
top,
portray
velho,
that
esse
sort of
Assassin's
the
Creed, velho.
brutality that
Muito
comes
top,
with being a
velho.
Viking in this day and age. So it sort of fits into that the time and the character.
Cacete, velho.
Oswald, he lives.
Oswald lives!
Eivor, is that you? Shut your ass, twig spine.
Here, Eivor
Cala
has
a
taken
boca.
her entire army through the assault, and finally it's revealed that our elderman, our ally, Oswald, is still alive, and Ruid has him captive.
So this is what it comes to, Wolfkist? Two Danes fighting over a filthy Saxon whoreson?
E aí, Boudica?
This swine is your prize. Come and get him.
So now that we've seen that Oswald is alive, we have Ruid within our sights. What's the next step here?
So the next move for Eivor is to finally face off against
Muito
Ruid.
top, muito
She
top,
has
muito
her
top,
allies,
velho.
they can take care of the rest of the army.
Eu vou
Now it's time to
encerrar
go
essa live
one-on-one
aqui,
against
mas
Ruid
deixa eu
in
dar
one
logo
of
o
our
meu
boss battles,
comentário,
actually.
né? Deixa eu baixar aqui. Sobre os jogos da Ubisoft, cara, na boa. Watch Dogs Legion ficou um pouquinho mais de, assim, tem muita opção agora, né, de jogador para você estar controlando, isso, aquilo, outro, mas nada demais, véio, nada demais. É um jogo que eu acho que nem entrar para disputar o GOT desse ano ele vai entrar, na boa. Já dei uma observada, fiz uma análise aí do jogo. Pode ser até um jogo bom para quem gosta naquele estilo, mas eu descarto. O Brawlhalla, que já é um jogo livre, tá vindo aí com uma DLC nova, novos personagens. Para quem gosta do jogo, tá filé, velho, vai ser legal. É um jogo free to play, né? Estilo Smash Bros. Vamos pular pro joguinho de... aquele jogo Battle Royale que eu esqueci o nome, não me lembro agora. É Hyper não sei o que. É mais um Battle Royale. Vamos ver se vai encaixar aí, né, no mercado, que é difícil. Esses jogos a turma inventa muito, pô. É um Battle Royale diferente, pô. Meio cartunesco. Meio viajado, muito viajado eu achei, mas quem sabe cai no gosto do pessoal. O Assassin's Creed tá aí mostrando aí, ó. Pra mim foi o melhor jogo da Ubisoft mostrado. O primeiro vídeo que foi mostrado dele eu achei uma porcaria, eu juro a vocês, eu achei uma porcaria. Eu fiz, que merda é essa, velho? Mas esse vídeo aí do jogo que foi mostrado na conferência, nesse showcase aí da Ubisoft. Esse vídeo que tá mostrando aí, ó, no gameplay aí atual, tá passando na tela de vocês. Conversando com os NPC, lembra muito The Witcher, pô. As conversas. Esse jogo aí vai encaixar, viu? Esse joguinho aí vai pegar. Esse jogo aí tenho certeza que vai disputar o GOT. Não ganhar, eu acho que não ganha, mas vai ficar entre os melhores jogos do ano, tranquilo e calmo. E eu digo uma coisa, a compra é certa, viu? Vou pegar esse jogo, velho. Que jogaço, velho. Porra. Gostei demais mesmo do Assassin's Creed. De resto, não teve mais nada, pô. O Ubisoft só foi blá 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 pra lá e pra cá, velho. Pra mim, resumindo o evento todinho, foi o Assassin's Creed, o melhor jogo disparado, velho. Ah, teve Porra, tem um vizinho fila da puta aqui com a porra de uma vuvuzela, velho. Aí teve um teaserzinho do Far Cry 6, que também não mostrou nem gameplay nem nada, né? Tem que esperar. E o jogo só vai sair em 2021 também. Fevereiro de 2021. Agora esse Assassin's Creed aí, ó, calou minha boca. Muito perfeito. Jogabilidade parece que tá muito foda. Gostei demais, velho. Só tenho elogios pro jogo agora. Eu mudei minha opinião sobre esse jogo. Pronto. Um evento que durou quase 2 horas, né? 2 horas por causa do pré-show. Agora temos que aguardar. Pessoal aí que Entrou pela Uplay aí. Watch Dogs 2 tá grátis. Tempo limitado. Mas quem pegar vai ficar com o jogo definitivamente na sua conta. Quem tiver logado aí na Uplay e assistiu o evento com o PC logado na Uplay, já pode pegar seu Hot Dogs 2, hein? Eu vou ficando por aqui. Amanhã tem live pela parte da manhã e live pela tarde. Pela parte da manhã às 8 horas e pela parte da... Quer dizer, amanhã não vai ter live, minto eu. Amanhã não vou poder fazer live, que amanhã eu vou resolver um negócio do meu cartão que deu pau aqui. Tem que ir na loja, tem que ir no banco, tem que ir num monte de coisa para resolver meu cartão. Provavelmente eu devo fazer live à tarde. Pela parte da manhã não vou poder fazer live não, hein? Vou deixar lá já um bilhetezinho, um lembretezinho lá no canal. E se eu chegar cedo eu faço live à tarde. Tem que resolver as coisas do meu cartão amanhã sem falta. Porque senão vai cair uma conta de quase 600 reais na minha conta. Aí eu vou me lascar todinho. Valeu aí, Lucão. Valeu aí o pessoal que chegou aí no canal aí. Valeu. Valeu aí pelos likes aí do pessoal. Fiquem com Deus. Bom domingo. E se tudo der certo, amanhã à tarde eu vou fazer live às 17 horas. Se não der, fica para terça-feira. Beleza? Um restinho de domingo para vocês e fui!